This one is good. This one not so good. So today we are going to be making Middle Eastern style pita bread, and we are going to start off by activating our yeast because I do not have instant yeast. So what we are going to do is take our water and just put it in a bowl, and it should be warm water, about 105 degrees or so. And you're going to take your yeast. If you have active dry yeast, you can skip this step and just mix everything together and you'll be fine. And then next we are going to add either sugar or honey. Look at this cute little bag I have with a little honey stick and everything. It's so cute. And a tiny little honey jar. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of this honey. And we're going to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it gets foamy. You can also give it a little bit of stir with a whisk. That way that honey, if it's kind of clumpy, gets mixed up in there. So we're going to let that sit aside. And next we're going to move on to our flour, which is going to be 3 1/4 cups of either all-purpose flour or bread flour. And to that we are going to add our salt, which is going to be 2 teaspoons of salt. And we're going to give that just a quick mix. Get the salt mixed in there. And once our yeast mixture is ready, we will go ahead and dump it in here along with some olive oil. So we'll be back in just a minute. Now that our yeast is nice and activated, it's all foamy on top. It's been about 5 minutes, so we're nice and good there. I'm going to bring you in a little closer here so you can see a little better. So here is our nice and foamy yeast, and we've got our flour and salt. We're going to make a well in there and dump our yeast in there. We're also going to dump our oil. And I will have this recipe listed down below in case you would like to try it. And we're just going to slowly mix this together until it comes together. You can use a stand mixer, but until I figure mine out, I'm doing it by hand because my mixer is actually really strong when it comes to making doughs. And sometimes I think I've actually overmixed, which is something you do not want to do. So now that our dough has come together, we're going to lightly flour our surface. And get our dough out. And we're going to knead this for about 8 to 10 minutes. Turning it over on itself like I'm doing here. So you're basically folding it over. Turn and fold. Turn and fold. Almost there, but not quite yet. Maybe another minute or two. It's still a little lumpy. Alright, so here's what we're working with. It's smooth and elasticy, which is what we want. So we're going to put it into a nice ball. And we're going to take our pan that we already have and oil it nice and well. We're going to put our dough right on top and just a little bit on top of that. And we're going to cover this. We're going to cover this with saran wrap and make sure that it's covering tightly over the dough. And we're going to take another towel just to make it even warmer in there and just cover over the top of that. And we're going to let this rise for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until it doubles in size. Oh baby, we're almost there. Not quite double in size, but almost there. About another half hour. Alright, look at that dough. Doubled in size now. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes. Now we are going to roll this out onto a lightly floured surface. And we are going to punch down the dough. and roll it over one time on itself. Now we are going to divide this into 90-gram balls. It should make about eight balls. Look how smooth that is. Nice and smooth like a baby's bottom. Alright, so I'm going to cut this in half first. Cut that in half and cut that in half and see if we get about 90. 96, pretty close. Recipe says it gets 8, but I got 9. Now we're going to take each one of these balls, or turn it into a ball, I should say. You can do it with your hand like this. And then see how it forms a nice ball. Or you can kind of pinch underneath, like I'm doing like that. Alright, now what we're going to do, lightly flour our sheet pan here, and we're going to set our balls a little bit apart from each other. We're going to cover it again with our plastic wrap and our towel and let it rise for another 20 minutes. Alright, see you in 20. So it's been 20 minutes and our dough is ready to roll out. I forgot to mention that while your dough is rising for the last 20 minutes, you should preheat your oven to 500 degrees and get a sheet pan or two in there getting hot. So you want the sheet pan to be hot before you put your dough on there. So now we're going to roll out our dough to about 1/4 of an inch thick and about 7 inches or 8 inches in diameter. And I have this mat here, the silicone mat that has measuring on it, and I also have this rolling pin that has different color thicknesses, and this one is 1/4 inch thick, so it'll help me roll it out and make sure that it's even. And I'm having a little trouble getting it to roll out, so you can also use your hands. This works just fine as well. But I like to use the mat because it helps me to get even every time as far as the circumference. Alright, we're on our last one here, and I found that it's actually better to roll it without flour because you want minimal flour anyways, because if you put too much flour it won't puff up properly. So I found that not using any flour works just as well. And it doesn't stick because I'm using my silicone mat here, so it works out perfect. So we're going to put these on and we're going to bake them in about 2 to 4 minutes. So after they come out of the oven, you want to wrap them in some sort of a bowl to keep the steam in so that they don't dry out. I don't know if these came out the way that I wanted them to. This is the first time trying this recipe. So I cut this one in half. This was nice and puffed out, which is what you want. But as you see, this side, the inside cut a little burnt and it's very thin and crispy. This is more what I was looking for, all the way around evenly. But we are going to put some butter on here and give this a taste. This is definitely not like my great grandma used to make. This one is good. This one not so good. So I'll keep working on the recipe and see if I can come up with something a little bit better. But yeah, this side is good. Nice and kind of fluffy and bready and aerated. If you guys have any pita bread recipes that you tried and works great, let me know, and maybe post it down below. I'd love to try it and give you a shout out. That's it for today, guys. I'm going to bed. See you later.